full time in Moscow, CSKA Moscow 2, Arsenal 2. We got the job done in the end. I said last week that I didn't think the game was over. Well, I said I thought it was basically over, but I said you never know with Arsenal, and especially the week we've had, you never know. But we got the job done in the end. So in the end, we did get the job done. I'm going to keep this quite brief because I just want to keep this brief. Yeah, from minute one, we didn't look great. We were quite. I think the commentator, I can't remember his name, but I think it's John Champion, summed it up perfectly in the first half and in the second half. It was quite a passive performance. We just seemed to turn up and I don't know. We weren't really in the game. We just didn't really seem to be there. We sort of, CSKA weren't, I don't think they were particularly good. I thought they were bigging them up in the commentary. I don't personally think they were particularly great. Yes, they started reasonably well. They were pressing us quite highly, but they weren't particularly great in their movement. They weren't particularly urgent. They didn't move the ball quickly. But we were sloppy on the ball, quite sloppy. Well, we sort of, it was a very careful performance. Everyone was very careful on the ball, which meant we didn't really get any urgency going. No one trying to really do much. It was very passive, as I said, and that kind of reflected in our play. And we did waste a few good openings in the first half. One with Welbeck trying to play it into Ramsey, and then another one with Ramsey where he played a pass behind Ozil when he could have been through. It was quite a poor sort of, yeah, passive performance. But first goal, terrible defending. Bellerin's got to stop the cross. I thought Bellerin was very poor. He's got to stop the cross, gets it in too early. Good save from Cech. Monreal is not very alert at the back post. He watches the run of whoever heads it, and he's not very alert. They head it. Good save from Cech. And Mustafi, again, like on the weekend, so unalert, just completely static as I can't remember who it was, their player tucks it in, and second half the same thing. We started very passively, not really in the game. They had more urgency than us. Still, I didn't think they were great. They didn't create that much, but I never really felt that worried. Although when the second goal did go in, I started to have a few, you know, oh, we might actually throw this away. But the second goal, Wenger made a change at half time that really didn't help. He moved Elneny into the back three, and it just meant Ramsey and Wilshere were sitting, and they're not defensively orientated. They want to go forward, and it meant we were very exposed in the middle of the park, and it meant that their player had so much time to shoot. Parried by Cech. Cech's got to hold that. I think he made a few good saves in the game, like in the first goal and a free kick just after, but he's got to catch that or parry it away from danger or over his bar. He palms it right back into the danger area. Again, Monreal was not alert, and it's a good finish from their player. And then, as I was saying, we were very passive throughout the game. The first time we had a bit of play where someone actually took responsibility and actually had a bit of urgency was Welbeck. On the turn, brilliant turn from pass from Monreal. Plays a 1-2 with Elneny. Brilliant pass from Elneny back in the middle after Chambers came on to replace Wilshere, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. Through to Welbeck, brilliant finish. I've talked a lot about his finishing problems this season, and he seems to lack composure or scuffs shots. But today, brilliant finish, and I was really impressed with Welbeck. I don't think anyone had a particularly great game, but he took responsibility. He was the first player to do a bit of play that wasn't really passive, that wasn't really careful and trying to just keep the ball so we don't concede. And he actually tried something, and credit to him, and I thought he worked really hard today. We didn't really have any attacking. We weren't particularly great attacking going forward, so you can't really say he didn't have much of an effect going forward, because no one did. But his work rate was there, and it was a brilliant goal, and I was really happy for him. Second goal, injury time. From that moment onwards, it was just a case of them having a bit of the ball, and we hit them on the counter. We had a few good chances. Welbeck had another one. Iwobi should have scored. No composure. And El Neni with another good pass through to Ramsey, chips the keeper. Game done and dusted. We got the job done in the end, although we were quite poor. Didn't even see that we were poor. We just didn't seem to be there. We were just very passive. I think that's the key word in the game. But yeah, I don't think anyone played very well. I thought Bellerin and Monreal were poor. Monreal uncharacteristically very sort of switched off for both the goals. Bellerin just so sloppy and just defensively looked a bit shaky. And I thought we missed Xhaka desperately. There's been a lot of criticism of Xhaka this season, and I think fair enough, but we miss his control and guile on the ball when he's not there. And he does give us a defensive we're more defensively stable when he's there, because he'll sit. Even though he's not particularly mobile, he will sit. And I thought El Neni played alright, but it wasn't his best game. I think we've seen him play better in an Arsenal shirt, but credit to him, brilliant ball to Welbeck, which got the first crucial goal. Ramsey, typical Ramsey performance, a bit of energy. It wasn't his most energetic, but he was making the runs into the box. Wilshere I thought was poor today. Seen on Twitter a lot of people saying we've got to get rid of him. I disagree. I think he's had a very good season. I think just because he's been pretty poor in the last few games, people are calling for his exit. I disagree with that. I think we've seen earlier in the season what he can do, and I think we've got to keep Jack Wilshere. And Ozil, I was raving about his performance last week against CSKA, but today he was a bit quiet, and yeah, it wasn't his best performance. Lacazette didn't really get any service, but I don't think he really helped himself with a lack of movement going forward. But yeah, anyway, we got the job done, so that's what matters. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks.